I don't know when you're going to see this, but it's the 31st of March at the moment. And I think, when did I must have started working at Barrett's in Peckham on the 19th of August. It probably was 2001. It could have been 2001. Yeah, it must have been, because I got fired in the October because I didn't know about, you know, holiday and all of that. I got fired on my holiday. It's like Friday, although Craig got fired on his day off for taking boxes. I got sacked from Barrett's in Peckham, yeah, for fucking. Obviously, I was going to club. What was it? OCP, Orchard Community Project on Colbath Street, yeah. They was going away to Pontins for the weekend. Obviously, I wanted to go, so I went. Told work I'm not gonna be in this weekend because I'm going to Pontins. And then I've got back the next week after that, got into work, and I don't think it was the manager, but someone's gone, "What are you doing here?" There's me coming to work, and then they was like, "You've been fired." I'm like, "What?" And I just walked out of there. And that was that. So, you know, Barrett's is no longer in Peckham anymore. But yeah, that's how I got fired for my first job. To be honest, yeah, that's how I got fired. I never used to do any overtime. I just used to work in the shop, kind of setting the shoes straight again. We used to wear this burgundy uniform with a black tie and black trousers. It was fucking horrible. But, you know, I was earning a bit of peas. And I think after that, I just started doing some other shit. But I think I worked in Barrett's, and I was looking for a job for years. And when I say, what? I handed out CVs. I made a track here called, you know what? I should even pop I can't stop on there, but make another beat around it. So when I can't stop, I'm like, I handed out CVs, like so many CVs to shops, getting the same rejection letters and whatnot. And like, you know, no one wanted to hire your boy, you get me? No one wanted to hire me. Like, so started doing some other stuff, was really good at the other stuff. And I remember I got a hookup for an interview at Primark, and then I went to the interview, and I remember saying to my mum before I went, I was like, boy, well, if I don't get this, you know, I'm just gonna do this other stuff, because I'm quite good at this other stuff. And then I got there, and then I got the job. And even that was a bit of a shit show, because I was right in the middle of the ends, and I was seeing bare people I knew of from school and shit, and people just come in, and you know, you get them people that didn't like you at school, but they'll want to come in and make conversation and try and make you feel away. Like, there was a moment where someone came in, yeah, and they was just being annoying and trying it. And then she was like, "Oh, you wearing glasses, yeah?" Like, proper trying to be shady. But then looked at the side of my glasses frame and saw the Burberry pattern. And then got gassed because they were Burberry. And I was just looking at her like, get out of here, man. That was like horrible. Working in Primark was mad horrible. But you'll hear it. In the Primark boy rhythm, you'll hear it. You know, I don't know how long you've been following what I do or whatever, but you might know that in somewhere around 2011, 2010, I submitted it to BBC Homegrown, and Target picked it as Homegrown Track of the Week, which was good. What I should have done though, before I sent the tune in, or when I was in the studio with Richard from Orpheus Studios, who engineered the track and mixed it and stuff, is I should have reversed the managers' names I mentioned. So after Primark, man left there, went to M&S, and I was working on King's Road. Let me set the scene though. I can't remember how much I was getting paid at Primark. At Barrett's, I was getting paid $3.50, like rock bottom minimum wage. I started working at Primark in something like 2005, I think. Must have been 2005 or 4. Yeah, 2005, I think. Was it 2005? Yeah, 2005 I started working in Primark. Left there 2006. I get paid minimum wage. I was getting paid £5.20 minimum wage at Primark. Hear me out. Like, I've struggled. I can't lie. Whilst they're still doing other stuff, whatever. £5.20. Then moved to M&S and I was getting paid something like £7. Nah, I don't even think it was that much. I can't remember how much I was getting paid at M&S. But it was rock bottom low as well. Then, whilst I was at M&S, left there to go to, and I was working in Kings Road, the food hall section. And it was alright. But then it's like, two little pussy old managers really wanted to get me put on a disciplinary and miss out on my bonus because I left the shop floor 2 minutes early. Like, imagine that, 2 minutes early. You know what I'm saying? There was no fraud on time card or whatnot. But the brother, where we left 2 minutes early together, I told him, yo, say the clock on that wall said this time. And it did, you know what I'm saying? It said 8 o'clock. Yeah. It was 2 minutes fast or something like that. I said, use that. My bad. I don't know what he said when he went in there. He probably cracked under pressure, or because man was like proper roaded out, couldn't switch up the codes and whatnot. Just fucked it up. Man missed out on a bonus and whatnot. I was salty. I enrolled into, like, at that time I enrolled into Lambeth College after bare failed attempts to, you know, study and drop out again and rare. Enrolled to Lambeth College to study sound technology and engineering. And then I ended up dropping. I ended up stopped working at M&S. Can't remember why. And then I think the job I got after that was I can't remember, man. TK Maxx. Mad. And I had been out of work for a hot minute. Wasn't doing other stuff anymore, like, you know, and that was horrible. The uniform for TK Maxx was horrible. It was when they opened their first store in Kensington High Street. And I remember when I was working there, dead broke, yeah, when I started working there. Man didn't have no peas, man didn't have nothing. I was struggling on the grind. I was struggling. Fucking, what happened? I see a Cerruti jacket and it was green, puffer jacket. I wanted it, boy. No peas in it, man, just had to settle. Missed out on that jacket. And yeah. So after TK Maxx, you know what, this is getting boring now. I can't lie, I'm bored. Long story short is, man's been working at Thingy for 20 fucking years. So after TK Maxx now, man done a stint in Peter Jones's, but by that time I started uni, so I was at Peter Jones for less than a month, probably about a month odd, and they was paying good peas at that time, you know. They was paying good peas. And then dipped out. Then I wasn't working for a while. And then I think in the October I started working at First Sport in Lewisham. Everyone knows First Sport is JD Sports. So I'm back in the ends now. And it's horrendous because once again, you're seeing bare people from the ends that you know, and rare. And it's just horrible. You're just working in JD. You know what I'm saying? Seeing people living their best lives. You're just in the shop trying to sell a pair of Mackenzies to someone. Got people just on a madness. And I was like, fucking hell. So then I think I was successful in applying to they was opening up a top shop in Cheapside. Successful to apply for there, went there. This was still coinciding when I was at uni. I was still at uni doing my thing and whatnot, being mad creative. Like, in the thing about First Sport, yeah, that was funny, that I used to have a notepad in my back pocket and I used to write bars. Like, I wrote the bars for Wounded on that shop floor, like walking around the trainers and stuff. And I'm gonna put that on Autobiography of a Nobody because it was in a similar time frame, you get me? What else? Fucking hell. And I think man worked in Topshop, and I think at that period where I was there, that was one of my most creative periods. Cannot lie. Because I don't know, man. I don't know what it was. But man was just writing. And plus I was at uni, so I was always on train. So I was always just writing. But when I say productive, it wasn't just music by this time. This time I started writing prose, I started writing the poetry, I started blogging. Everything was culminating, you get me? And I think that was my most creative periods. So after man's at Topshop, man's grafting there now. And it's getting to the point where I'm like, shit, man's left uni. And I remember it was the first time since leaving uni, like what happens is you get the maintenance loan, innit? So every 3 months or whatever, for 3 years, I've been getting this big drop of cash money. So when this cash drops, you know, you're good for however long, plus I'm working a job so I'm not noticing. You see the first paycheck when I didn't have that uni piece, crisis. So then man started working more hours. Then man started working at a fucking, like, I wouldn't call it an internship because it wasn't paid. They never even paid travel expenses. It was Defected. I got like some work experience at Defected Records, and it was just mad. And I think because like they was moving office, yeah, and they wanted man to help them move office, and I'm thinking, man is work experience. I'm not doing this. So I never done it. But then when I've turned up on the following Monday when they've moved everything in, it's like, fucking man ain't even got a computer to sit at. So at this point, I'm like, rah. Man is doing the work experience, and it should have been 2 days, but I started going there bare days, innit? And also doing uni, and also, was I doing uni? No, I weren't. I had graduated from uni at that time, and I just wanted to get into the music industry by any means possible, innit? Shout out to Tony Tambourine, because man really did put me in onto that work experience. But ultimately, I wanted to go, because my brother had been going New York for Thanksgiving for 2 years on the trot, or 3 years, and I wanted to go New York for Thanksgiving, you know, hit the outlets like the Polo outlets, see my family and connect with them, because I'd never been New York before. So man just had to throw the towel in on Defected, boy. Like, I think something happened where, you know, there was an incident to one of my cousins or something like that, and I was like to them, boy, like, cousin's going through a madness, I'm gonna dip. But ultimately, me and that cousin ain't even that close, so it never really affected me. I just dipped. But I think about it to that day and I think, rah, like, if I stuck there, what would have happened? But who knows?